Welcome back to Midwest eSports Formula 1 Division 1. It is now week 4. We weren't here last week in Spa. We missed that every single year. And we covered Hungary and covered Monaco at the start of the season, but the standings have been changed quite a bit since we've left, and we're very excited to see how the race goes tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Congratulations last week to the race winner, Race Day. That was an uncontested victory. He will hold on to that. I know last year, I believe he finished a race first, but then it was shifted, whether it was penalties in the race or some kind of DQ, whatever else. But this one, Race Day finished first and holds on to first place. So that makes 3 separate winners in 3 separate races to start this season off. We'll see if we make it a 4th separate winner today, unique winner today, and just keep us guessing as to who really has the upper hand at the start of this season. But like Mitch said, tonight we are in Portugal for week 4. The Portimao circuit with the iconic Portimao hill climb is coming to you in just a moment. We're going to throw to the track for Q1 and only momentarily. We do have 2 drivers that will be sitting out from tonight's race. Those are Callie Robb and Sharia Coleslaw, but in their seats for the Ferrari, Callie Robb's Ferrari, it's going to be Josh Sr. once again. And for the Alpine of Sharia Coleslaw, that seat is going to be taken by a dub 552218. So we will see Josh Sr. and a dub, see if they can add to this ever-growing list of victors here in season 13. Just unreal. Typically, I believe in every season past, Mitch, we've had at least one repeat winner in the first 4 races. If we don't complete today's race with, Reimer, Gott Palmer, and Race Day are our 3 race winners. If we have somebody else on the podium, it's going to be awesome. You want that kind of parity in the season. It's just it feels wrong in some sense.
Yeah, sorry. I immediately got kicked from the session, which is great. But I was on my Wi-Fi. That might have been part of the problem on the slow channel. So,
the
PlayStation's been upstairs for the past 2 weeks playing NCAA Football 25 on the big TV. We've been taking turns controlling our dynasties and taking Pitt to a hopeful national championship. So I reset the internet here. I was like, maybe it crashed, and then I saw no one else was typing the chat here.
Love it. Yeah, I'm also running on a laptop right now, and it only has USB-C connections. So I got a dongle, my 30,000th dongle, and I'm now running an Ethernet adapter. So I should be hardwired in to get a no latent race feed from you today. But yeah, the fact that you were trying to run this stream to YouTube and also through Parsec to me to then bounce through OBS my stuff back to you on a 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi chain is commendable. But I'm glad you finally found the 5s.
I'll say I hope this works too. I was saying I was watching the Olympics an hour ago and it was choppy and I didn't know if it was YouTube TV or the internet. My phone looked good. Looks like I can see the racing. So let's see how that looks. I've got to find the button again. It's been 2 weeks since we've done this. That's plenty of time to forget. And let's see if everyone has their names on. It looks like almost everyone. So we can roll with that.
Yeah, I am totally fine with that. My screen isn't as glitchy here. If I turn off my camera,
does it look good?
It's better than it usually is.
All right.
Looks like Kate Thomas was disqualified from the session. Not sure. I mean, disqualified is different than a kick, right? So
I think he was having something going on. Oh, I didn't want to turn on the track map. I always forget what we...
Big lockup. Oh, yeah, the initial, the preamble. Big lockup there by Travis Scott in the Ferrari. We're going to get a note from Kate Thomas. Yeah, he was having some connection issues, so that may have just been the game throwing a connection issue for Kate. We'll see if he can return. I believe someone just said a fastest lap. I want to say it was... I don't see a green on the track.
I think it was.
It's all good if you have
yet the top there, 117.
Shoot. No. Yep. That's how the scoreboard works. I don't want to talk about it. Good evening, Dockworthy Dame. Hello, hello, your mom. Watch out for my boy Palmer. Big fan group coming in. Forgot Palmer. Still waiting on the initial lap time from the McLaren driver, but one of those 3 drivers who has won a race already in season 13 down there in the middle of the pack, getting ready to head out. Still no time, still no out lap. Reimer getting a track limits warning. Oh, he is out there.
Yeah, I think Palmer's just about to start his lap. He's going to be coming around turn 3. Can look at the... let's
Redmond goes faster.
Let's go on board with him for this.
Yeah, thank you, sir. And thank you to Race and Rob for the phenomenal overlays that we are utilizing this season on Nick and Mitch for MidWest eSports. Formula One Division 1 action in week 4 of season 13 right here in Portugal. We're on board now with Scott Palmer. He sets his initial time. See that wonderful telemetry on the halo there.
You can also try and learn some of these track names. Or turn names.
Yeah.
At least this is one of the tracks
I
that
know
has
the
every single corner.
Oh, really?
Like every single name.
I did see T7.
I just saw Samsung
Yeah,
as
the last
Craig
one was
Jones,
Samsung.
Portimao.
Did Samsung sponsor a corner? I imagine. That's genius for the marketing and branding departments.
I want to know what the name of the corner is coming up. The one that's always very annoying when you're racing. Is it this one? Maybe it was Samsung.
Big, wide, swooping right.
And then Galp is the final corner.
We still have just about 11 minutes to go in qualifying, so I'm sure we'll take another on board with another driver. Scott Palmer is going to go second fastest. Wasn't able to get the jump in Sector 1, but Sectors 2 and 3 were clean. So keep an eye out. We have all 3 of our current first place runners up in 1, 2, and 3 right now. All setting fastest in different sectors, so they are going to be on a quick one. We'll see if any other drivers like GSR Caesar can break that front row. What's up, Coach Bob? Back for some more. Supposed to see him this weekend, but it just wasn't in the cards, so I'm looking forward to the next time that I'll see him, probably when the weather's like 40 degrees cooler.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah, I can't wait. It was 105 today when I left work.
Yeah, it's like in the 90s.
Not great.
Here. And it just sucks. Like, I work where it's colder inside, and I have to wear long pants and usually long sleeves, so I I like to wear all black as well too. So I was wearing like a black, long sleeve quarter zip with the Olympics logo on it, and black scrub type pants, and then waterproof ones. And then I step outside, and it's just gross and humid, and I was down to just like my plain white undershirt.
No, I was gonna make a comment on that this morning. You sent a Snapchat from the bus, and you were wearing a fully zipped hoodie on the bus. What are you doing?
I can get.
How are you alive right now?
To the bus is like depending on which bus, a 1 minute or like a 5 minute walk. And it's 73 when I leave, so I can get to the bus in a quarter zip, and then the buses are freezing.
Yes. Okay.
And then I get off the bus and I walk like
You're just
10
very
steps
well
inside.
ventilated. Oh, living the life. Yeah, my car does this awesome thing where above 90 Fahrenheit, it starts to overheat when I sit in traffic. I need to get a new catalytic converter, but I have to drive with the windows down and the heat on to get the heat out of my engine bay vented out of my front air vents out the open window. So it was 100. I had the full heat of my car on the highest level the fans go today. That's how I drive in the swamp. It's a little rough.
I was gonna say, it sounds like the duck boats where they had the heat exhaust vents right next to the driver and the narrator.
Yep.
So that the engine doesn't explode in a giant steel thing that's sitting in the sun all day, but up front you're just roasting through the floorboards.
That's pretty much it's pretty much the experience that I voluntarily give myself.
I think I know they talk about one of the challenges being an F1 driver is the water that you lose and the heat of being in the car. I think we have that part handled.
Yeah, I think I'd be fine. I drive 95 on rush hour with no AC. I think I'll be good.
I don't think our neck's ready.
GSR Edwin. No. One thing at a time. Baby steps. We're climbing the ladder. GSR Edwin still fastest up there in the Mercedes, followed by Gott Palmer, and now A-Dubs goes faster than race day. So the substitute driver for the Alpine Garage will take third as it stands. 7 minutes to go in Q1 and only here in Portugal. On board with the other replacement driver, Josh Sr., who goes not as fast as we need. Josh is going to stay down in 14th and try again on this lap. Ferrari looking clean, though. I know we were seeing some issues from the other Ferrari driver, Travis Scott, early on in the session before anything was rubbered in. Locking up the brakes a lot in Sector 1, so it looks like everyone's cleaning that up for the most part. We do have one of the Williams.
That would be got any weeb as long as there's no substitutions for Williams.
Thank you.
And I also just noticed that this qualifying leaderboard flips between their fastest lap and their actual interval, or the gap from the leader. So now we don't have to do that mental math. We can just say Gott Palmer is 800 of a second behind.
Wow. Yeah, that's incredible. 6 minutes to go. Got any weeb will definitely improve on their Sector 1 time. Will they be able to hold pace through the rest of the course? Slight lock up there on the wide right. I believe that was 6. We might be a little slower in Sector 2. What has been your Olympic? I have been just injecting as much Olympics into my eyeballs, into my day as possible. It stays on. The Gold Zone stays on all day at work. I come home, I watch the highlights that I already watched the whole match of. So I'm kind of doing just everything all at once. Are you like honing in on any specific sports just yet?
Not really. It's on at work, and when I catch some time, I'll put it on one of the screens since I'm in like a lobby area so people can watch. A lot of times the courses are on. What's it called?
Dressage. Equestrian.
Yeah, dressage is usually on.
There are a couple different.
I think they were watching swimming a little bit earlier. Oh, and the kayaking. That one's really fun.
Yes. I believe U.S. Oh no.
Sorry, I'm very excited to see soccer because I think Saturday the U.S. is in a match and Canada's in a different match in the quarterfinals. And from what I've looked, if they both win, they would play each other in the semifinals on Tuesday.
Shoo!
My coworkers from a different location yesterday were messaging me whenever the U.S. game was on, like, you have to come to our office, like, bring a TV. We need to watch this U.S. game. I don't care. But I said Tuesday. Phenomenal. It would be Tuesday at 3 p.m. That'd be a big one. And I didn't even know Canada could make the quarterfinals with the penalty they got.
You're talking women's team?
Mm-hmm.
Or men's?
Oh, women's, of course.
No, women's. Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if the Olympics gave them any massive penalties. I know the FIFA did.
I think they did get 6.
Oh, okay.
I think they got 6 points deducted from the Olympics, and they still managed to make it because they like scored in extra time to break the tie.
Wow. Oh, that's massive.
So I think they just snuck that in.
Phew. Has definitely been a fun time watching the Olympics once again. If anyone in chat wants to let us know their favorite Olympic sport, do that, please. Yellow flag in Sector 2, may be a driver just yielding position. No further action. Drivers do continue underway. It's still A-dubs in that third spot. Race day looking to make up that 6/10 to get that spot back. But he's still in the second row. Not an awful spot to start the race following your first victory of the season. And that was a no race line race. They have a few test weekends here this season for Midwest where they are trying to run without the assisted race line, the overlay that you see in game. I believe Belgium was the first one of the season that they were trying that out. So not sure what that says about race day's abilities, what that says about the rest of the pack, because we did not have our cameras there. So we'll have to see what the drivers say if anyone comes in, or we'll just catch the next one. Coach says water polo. Yeah, water polo is a gnarly sport. The U.S. team is just like running their opponents down. And Flava Flav's been in every single game, just sitting there watching his girls just beat down the rest of the world. It's phenomenal.
Yeah, I love that he just sponsored that team and some of the others, and just goes to everything. And Snoop Dogg's there. I saw Martha Stewart was at gymnastics too.
Of course. Seth Rogen was at swimming today. I have a couple buddies from my media days that are out there as NBC correspondents for the East Coast. So I've been getting a lot on their like Instagram stories and stuff.
Race day just
Jason
said
Kelsey was there
116.
with...
Sorry, not fast enough to take it from GSR Edwin. See if race day,
but he will.
I believe he's
move up into that first row.
I think doesn't look like he's going fast enough to be attacking again, so that might not be the pole position of race day.
Soaking it all in. Get myself situated. It really is jarring whenever you take 2 weeks off. Fire Up Flow has retired from the session. We will see Fire Up Flow back on track for the race, though. Just saw a message through Paddock Chat. Fire Up Flow telling everyone, lightning just hit the power going to my house. Trying to get everything back on. LOL. What happened to my car? So Fire Up Flow literally struck by lightning before tonight's race, attempting to come back and do something for their team. We'll see how that all plays out. God Palmer's on a heater right now as he comes across the line. What can he do? Back up top goes the McLaren. God Palmer takes fastest lap of Q1 and only with just under 3 minutes remaining. Time is ticking down. Provisional pole is now held by a Papaya car.
And I believe this is Sui. Sui wasn't subbed tonight, right?
Sui.
Okay. That's Sui. Then he currently is only 5/10 behind God Palmer. That would put him above A-dubs. He has a chance to move up ever so slightly in this leaderboard coming across, and will go up into 5th. So it looks like we might have a 5 and an 8 for Aston Martin, which is a really good start for them.
Yeah, that's phenomenal. We know that Sui, the brother of Scarenzi, can make some moves. Definitely has learned from one of the best, if not the best, in Midwest. Did I see what I did? The best in the Midwest? Cake Thomas finally has joined. He's back up. We'll see he can set a time, has not been able to get in up until right now. Race day saying more pace can be used. Turn one sucks. So race day not quite feeling the track. Maybe it's the setup, maybe it's just, a cold track out there. We will have to wait and see, but looks like time is out and Gott Palmer is lead. Our clock might have been just a wee bit off there, but that is fine. Our first two rows see Gott Palmer, GSR Edwin, Race Day, and Reimer. 3 of those drivers have already won a race here in season 13. Are we going to see our 4th unique winner in the 4th race of the season, or will we finally get a repeat victory for one of these trio drivers? All of that and more coming up from Portugal. It's Nick and Mitch at the race. At the race. Oh boy. Welcome back, everyone, to the scorching Portimao circuit. It's the legendary Portuguese Grand Prix. Tonight's contest is a high-stakes showdown with the early season standings still as tight as a sardine tin. Even though it's early in the season, every corner still counts, every overtake still screams, and every point still carries the weight of a champion's crown. It's 2.88 miles of pure adrenaline where 15 corners will test this pack's precision with 2 DRS zones and, of course, the iconic Portimao climb. This ain't a spin for the faint of heart. As always, it's going to be a test of skill, strategy, and sheer guts. And now, before the lights go out and the battle for glory begins, let's hand it on over to the Sultan of Stat to break down the leaderboard and see who's got the edge in tonight's Coastal Showdown.
Well, it's starting off the season. Reimer took home the first victory of the race, but then Gott Palmer got a victory. And in Hungary last week, Race Day was able to claim pole position and first place in the race. He now sits atop the Drivers' Championship by just 2 points above Final Flame, who is 2 points above Cali Robb. And then 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, all very close. All of those positions could shake up tonight. Over to the Constructors' Cup, Red Bull started off strong in Monaco and has kept their place on top, but a ton of movement from all of the other teams. Their sister team, V-Carb, has moved up into 3rd place. They sit 3 points behind Kick Sauber, but they are almost 50 points behind Red Bull. So while Red Bull has taken off, the rest of the teams still have some good chances, and we might start to see who is becoming dominant this season.
Well, we've heard that turn 1 is a bit of a doozy here tonight, so we will see. It's definitely anyone's game on the starting straight here in Portugal. Folks, Lights Out is next. From the Portimao circuit, this is MidWest eSports Formula 1 Division 1 on Nick and Mitch.
And it is sunny right now in Portugal. We can look how that's going to be, at least for the next 10 minutes, when I find the button that says weather. I struggle with this every single time. Right there. Looks like it's going to be clear for the first 20 minutes of the race, which is great for these drivers. We saw some rain on and off in qualifying and during the race in the first few. But we'll be set to take a formation lap here as Gott Palmer and GSR Edwin sit on the front row.
Both of the Red Bulls up atop the grid here, both very, very dangerous competitors this season, as is the rest of the pack, but they have a serious advantage here starting so close to one another. It might turn into a bit of a strategy fight towards the end with tire changes and only one garage, only one pit stall, but But right now, to be able to box out the first few turns in Sector 1 could be huge in allowing the front of this pack to break away and let them race their own race.
And let's look at what tires everyone is rocking right now. We got a good mix of soft and mediums and circuit info. This is a medium tire wear track, medium downforce, so shouldn't be too terrible on those tires. Going full throttle for 74% of the track, so this one is very fast, only 15 turns. It's a lower count. There are some very tricky ones though. This was one of the tougher courses to learn at first because it seems simple, but some of these uphill right-handers, you can touch those curves and lose the rear of the car and just spin out completely.
Definitely. You see the top speed here tonight, 324 kilometers an hour, roughly 201 mile an hour. That is not top speed for the cars. So yeah, even though they are full throttle, 74% of the track, there is a lot of feathering going on. Like you said, for those anti-cambered tracks or counter cambered. I'm not sure what the actual name is for that, but some difficult turns here in Portugal. We are ready. I can't see. Move yellow flag. Can't see the lights.
Can't move that one. There we go.
Oh. There we are. We have lights. Everything is off the screen and the lights are out. Drivers are away here in Portugal. It is week 4, season 13, Division 1 action here in Midwest eSports. Scott Palmer gets away cleanly, already building a gap between both of the Red Bulls, Race Day and Reimer, falling almost half a second back. Now they are a half second back from the McLaren, who just put his shoes on and ran out of the gate. Red Bulls aren't going to make it easy on him. They are going to stay as close as they can. We have a virtual safety car as Houdini is in the back of the pack. There may be something wrong with the Sauber. It did look like Fire Up Flow received a penalty as well. Wasn't sure if that was a collision or what. Goodness, it was way too quick on the screen off.
Does look like
under VSC.
Fire Up Flow's missing a tip on the front left of his wing. I don't see anything on Ferrari Adjust Sr., but you can see the left side. Doesn't have his little fin to keep his car straight up and down.
Kate Thomas talking about qualifying, saying wheel would not turn. He would have been top 7 if he was able to make it happen. But he needs a new wheel badly. So fighting some mechanical issues at home, not so much on the track. Scott Palmer's going to set the fastest lap in Kate Thomas's old team colors. The McLaren, the bright orange McLaren up front, still followed by both Red Bulls and Sui and the Aston Martin behind them. We now have a pretty definitive front pack. Those 4 drivers pulling away cleanly. We see Final Flame trying to make some moves on the outside as we head down to a very, very sharp downhill left turn. Be careful not to lock up the brakes on that one. Has to be smooth. So to attempt an overtake there, I forget who it was last time we were in Portugal. They had that corner down to a T. They were overtaking on pretty much every single lap. We were seeing someone come in hot, able just to make it wide. Oh, Final Flame goes a little too shallow there, sending his car over the sausage curve on the inside as he tried desperately to get past GSR Caesar and up into 7. He's really given it all that car has.
I think that was close to one of the corners. I think last time we had rain too, which was part of the issue. Drivers are trying to dive down on the inside of that corner, and because of the rain, their tires weren't ready to slow down in time. So we had a couple incidents during that. Final Flame lucky to keep his car on track, not pick up anything. I don't believe any penalties were thrown. Palmer has the only warning so far for corner cutting, and that was just after the virtual safety car ended.
Palmer, properly setting a fastest lap that time around to 1:19 and change. Still keeping that interval on the Red Bulls as Final Flame and GSR Caesar go nose to nose through the corner. Very tight hairpin. I forget which number corner that is, but it's the doozy. GSR Caesar comes out the victor this lap.
And Final Flame in our last race was overtaking like a madman. Didn't he? I think he got driver of the day in Hungary, going from like 15th to 7th or 5th. Just a ton of overtakes. I think he played it right with the weather and the tires, and just passing nonstop.
Yeah, absolutely phenomenal. Final Flame does know how to handle the corners. Kind of looking like Danny Brick heading into the braking zones, just able to be the last person to touch the brakes. And even at that, it is just a whisper on brakes, just enough to keep his car on track as he goes through under DRS assistance, past the Mercedes, and finally up into 7th. A definitive overtake there by Final Flame. Travis Scott's now also moving up as well into 9th. Race day looks like they're also enjoying some of the DRS as they close in on God Palmer for first place. They're under just at 2/10 now. They try desperately to get past.
I think we get 2 DRS zones on this track, one at the finish line and then one running parallel to the finish line. So with race day pushing in this close, he's going to have a good chance coming up on the next one.
Absolutely. I understand that race day wants to put some distance between his teammate and also just wants to take command of this race, write the narrative as soon as possible. But do you want to be pushing this hard this early? Or do you want to try and get the longest tire life out of these softs as possible? I don't know. I just don't know if he's turning up the aggression too early in today's race.
I think you do try and get in front.
Fighting hard.
Especially with, actually, I guess it's race day. I was thinking the other way around, that race day was out in front. I would definitely get in front of race day, but I would always try and get in front of the leader because you run the risk of, any slip up you have, them running away, getting out of that DRS. So if you can get yourself in front, you have a little more opportunity to make a mistake and still stay up there in the front. I don't think he's going to get risky with it, but if he, puts that special lap down where he closes the gap enough that DRS will let him do an overtake, I think he goes for it.
And he's still holding the 3/10 pretty well. Every time I say it, it jumps up, but race day definitely within its striking distance or close to it with Scott Palmer. So we'll keep an eye on that interval as the race continues. Looks like Chuck Blazin in the other McLaren down in 18th, or sorry, that's 13th, is trying to get past Got Any Weed, I believe it is, in Williams.
I just nodded like you could see me
down here under TRS.
I just nodded like you could see me when you said Got Any Weed. I was like, yep.
I felt it. Chuck Blazin sees nowhere to go, closed the gap, but didn't really pick a side, didn't try any overtake. Let's see if he's waiting for a more opportune spot on the track, but I feel like a straight line DRS drag race is the perfect place to try and stick your elbows out and get past that car. Maybe try to go on the inside here. Does not have the gumption. Got Any Weed's going to hang on to 12 for now.
It's going to be interesting. I think
Travis
Got Any Weed picked up a corner cutting penalty in the first little challenge by Chuck Blazin, and then the second one, it looked like he kind of went to the outside and locked up a bit, and Chuck was almost able to go on the inside too.
We have another battle on track. This time it is up in 9th place with Travis Scott in the Ferrari fighting Final Flame trying to get back up. GSR Caesar reclaimed the position that Final Flame took from him, and Travis Scott's trying to put him further down. He is going to surpass the Sauber, the bright green highlighter car, down into turn 1. 8th place goes the Ferrari. Final Flame going to have some work to do to get past these two again, but a huge lockup by Travis Scott there in turn 2 or 3 is going to give a bit of respite to Final Flame. Reprise? One of those fancy words. It's going to give him a little bit of a break.
And during that Gottini weave did pick up a 3-second penalty for 3 corner cuts already in the race. Travis Scott says 2, and the Plum says 2 as well. So some of the red cars are in danger of adding some time. Josh Sr. joining that party as we speak. He made both of them just 1 corner cut away from picking up 3 seconds.
Careful, boys. Lap 7 of 33 here in Portugal, and it has been a close one already. These guys' packs are defining themselves after an early VSC for some debris on the track. These packs are ready to attack. Here comes Race Day on God Palmer. Sticks his elbows out on the outside of turn 1. It is now a Red Bull leading the Portuguese Grand Prix. Race Day, last week's winner from Belgium, will take the lead once again over God Palmer. It is now a Red Bull sandwich with some McLaren in the middle. These guys could bully the papaya just a wee little bit, but like you said, I'm sure God Palmer, Race Day, gonna try and skirt away from those 2 drivers as much as possible before he needs to change out those softs and fight once again.
Not a great place to be stuck. Reimer is on the medium tires, so he'll last a little bit longer up there. Don't know if he's going to go for a major challenge, but it's going to get a little tricky. That's kind of a mind game once you get stuck between 2 teammates like this.
Yes.
Especially who are all this close. I mean, 4th place is 3.5 seconds back, so this really is just the top 3 having a little party all within DRS.
Absolutely. And I mean, if you really want to get slimy with it, they could be playing some games. Reimer on mediums could be pushing Gut Palmer a wee bit on those softs, forcing him to make some lateral movements, while chasing Race Day in front is going to wear the tires down faster as well. So you can force that McLaren to make some unscheduled, fairly aggressive maneuvers. Could start to chip down those tires a little bit too, but I'm not sure these guys are thinking that deep into it just yet. They're not even at the halfway point of this race. They're just trying to establish their positions. Talking about someone who is trying to just establish positions, trying to establish connection back to the game. Final Flame saying it was kicked from the game and it's not loading back up. Internet's completely fine. I've just been screwed over badly by this game. So looks like Final Flame may not have lost the position that he gained on GSR Caesar earlier due to his fault. That may have been a connection issue. And his car is just still on track as a ghost driver, kind of taking up the spot.
No invite.
So one driver struck by lightning tonight. Sorry?
Yeah, I was going to say, no invite working either, which is unfortunate because Kick Sauber was up in 2nd in the Constructors' Cup standings. So that's going to drop them down a little bit there. I think the top 3 teams did have a nice little comfortable gap, so we'll see how the rest of this plays out. Reimer's getting really close to Palmer. You were right. I think could be a bit with Race Day, just slowing Palmer up ever so much to get his teammate into contention.
Yeah, absolutely. Trying to just let Race Day break away from this pack. Scott Palmer's going to continue putting the pressure on the race leader. There's Reimer right up the back. He had that corner down pat. Really getting through there easier than got Palmer. But Reimer unable to overtake just yet, or maybe biding his time and just waiting. Trying to put the pressure on, forcing God Palmer to make some unscheduled maneuvers. See how this one plays out. Perfect view of the front too.
I think so. I mean, Reimer's in a great spot to just really play mind games on Scott Palmer lap after lap after lap. You just get past him, then Scott Palmer can focus on taking that spot back. But you just sit behind him and stay in this little window and go left, go right. Scott Palmer's going to be thinking about you in every corner when he can't be thinking about race day in front of him.
Right. Honestly, that is the strategy that I would be adopting right now. Looks like that's what Reimer's doing as well. Not even attacking on the DRS zone right there. Just staying in the mirrors, hanging back, trying to push. Reimer closes it down, playing some defense for race day there, not allowing Scott Palmer to take that outside lane.
Ooh, it looks like a lockup from race day. I think Scott Palmer just grazed into the back of him. Didn't look too severe.
Yeah, Scott Palmer definitely trying the inside cut right there, but it just was not enough. Formation flying, I absolutely love it. And this is now the closest race that we have on track besides Sui trying to get back up into 5th place on A-dubs, but he's not quite there for an overtake just yet.
And it looks like Scott Palmer has dropped out of the DRS zone, so he's not going to get it going along this straight, I believe, but they're going to both dip into the pits. Very interesting from Reimer, who is on the medium tires, to go into the pits. Looks like everyone's going in. Reimer getting up with a 2.2.
Wow. And Reimer going on the hard tires does make sense. Reimer is just going to stay with Scott Palmer for this for the long haul. Keep a Red Bull in those mirrors. Race day had a decent lead, but no, go for it.
I'm interesting to see how that plays out. That I mean, I think we can go that long. Looking at the tire life, 16, 20. I mean, medium tires could make it. I think Scott Palmer can make them make it, but it's going to get interesting later on in the race.
Yeah, Scott Palmer in the Williams last season was a clinician when it came to maintaining tires. I believe Scott Palmer was the one who ran a pair of softs for like 27 laps. It was something absolutely ridiculous that I've never seen anyone even attempt before. And that was Scott Palmer, so he does have a very light hand, a very light touch when it comes to his shoes. We'll see what he can do. Back there with his teammate Chuck Blazin now.
And race day now goes into
let Chuck get behind Scott Palmer.
Yeah,
let your teammate get behind you, that Red Bull, and then just allow you to kind of peel away there.
Oh, I think race day came out of the pits, and then
that's a bit of Sauber.
Yeah, final flame from down below. Kind of bumped into him, and a piece of the Sauber definitely flew off. I hope that race day's Red Bull is okay, just for coming back out. He's in front of Scott Palmer, which is where he wanted to be. Reimer dropped down quite a few spots, it looks like, after that.
Yeah, and so finally regain connection.
Maybe. Yeah, I don't know.
Be wild if that was just something that happened with the bot. Yes, sparks fly right as race day re-enters the track there, but maintains position. Does get out right in front of Scott Palmer.
We'll see if any of them have to go into the pits after this.
Sorry, I didn't announce it during qualifying, but we did have Stewart findings from last week in Spa, and it did have to do with Final Flame. One of 2 Stewart reports had action taken. Those were 5-second time penalty and 3 penalty points to Final Flame. One was failure to leave the space, and 2 was failing to provide footage of the incident with Korea Coleslaw clothing him out on a turn. So Final Flame, the only one getting a slap on the wrist from last week. That definitely wasn't Final Flame's fault. It seemed like it was just wrong place, wrong time for both of the drivers. They didn't know where to get through that pinch point.
Oh no! Race day
spins.
Yeah, it didn't look like anything around either. Just, I think, touched that curb. Now he's going to drop all the way next to Final Flame again.
Absolute devastation there by race day, for race day. Oh, that was heartbreaking. I wonder what happened. If that was I've seen that move happen before, and it's when one of my cats jumps up on my lap when I'm in the middle of the race. So hopefully it wasn't
drivers
something along those lines. I'm sure we'll hear about it under a safety car or at the end of the race. Race day will definitely let us know what happened there. Not going to be happy with that snap of bad luck. No one really would. Unfortunate there. He goes around the outside and the truck lays in, but takes it too wide. Trying to make up precious seconds there from that snap. It's now Sui that is ahead of this race, has been for a while, followed by his teammate. It's an Aston Martin stack, 1-2, followed by Scott Palmer, who is quickly gaining on both of the Astons.
Now
Nicky's making a play here.
Yeah, Nicky's 10 seconds behind his teammate. I'm wondering if I wonder if both of them are going to be able to stick this out and then go to soft tires, because they would have a decent advantage for the last stint of the race. It's assuming that Scott Palmer doesn't gain too much time on Sui right now. But 10 seconds, probably lose like, let's look at the gap to leader. He'd probably come out somewhere around the Red Bulls if he pits and can hold this gap.
Yeah, that is a commanding lead for the Green Machines. Houdini is now in the pit. Not sure if that's a tire change or if there was something wrong with the car. Second one of the day to Mr. Sparky, Fire Up Flow. Hey, Thomas making up 7 positions. G-Car is cruising today.
Kate Thomas.
Third for Fire Up Flow. That is the third corner cutting penalty for Fire Up Flow. Gonna have to be careful with those as Scott Palmer goes fastest in second place. Still hunting Sui. Quite a while to go. Is already close, 2 seconds on him. It's 8 more before he can try and fight again. Reclaim that first place spot.
And we are halfway through the race at this point. Just over halfway, so I think they are going to be able to ride out in the soft tires. They'll probably need at least a couple more laps here. I think some of the boys went in around lap 12, lap 13 on their soft tires. So they need 3 more laps to get through, and I think Palmer can close in maybe another second, another 2. But very interested to see how that plays up for Aston Martin, as they haven't had a great start to the season yet.
Hey, it's anyone's game so far. I mean, my goodness, we're in week 4, and the front 3 are in a dead heat for supremacy. So it really is anyone else's game. And Aston Martin, definitely now is the time to strike, to try and build up those points early and join that front pack. Race day now on his teammate Reimer, gets past under DRS, up in 5th place. Stays slowly climbing back. His next challenge lies about 5 seconds ahead with 1 the Aston Martin. So that's going to be Nicky 6-4. Race day, trying to get back after it, finding his groove. It took a few laps, but here we are. He has half a race left. We know that he can definitely lead with speed. So keep an eye on this Red Bull here in the final few laps. Drive like hell, race day. That broke my heart seeing that Red Bull sideways on the track.
And I think through all that, I missed that GSR Edwin has moved up into 3rd place.
Whoa,
well, I guess he started in 2nd, so interesting.
He had a bit of a dip there. I mean, Reimer race day,
yeah,
a lot where
he might have been the
really
silent
up
4th
front
driver
three.
that we were missing.
Our apologies, GSR Edwin. We love you. We see you. Boom, race day. Hitting a statement lap, a 1:18.7 for the Red Bull. If that doesn't say, I'm coming for you, I don't know what does. That may have been the first reach of 1:18 that we've seen in the race so far. I believe Scott Palmer had a 1:19, a very low 1:19 before that.
Does look like Scott Palmer.
Oh no, sorry, 1:18.7.
Yeah.
Yep. Forgot you could pull that up.
He may have just set
Never mind,
that.
ignore me.
So he may have set that
Yes.
right after race day. It's not hard to tell.
Thanks for making me feel better about my call.
That's what I'm here for.
I think I just can't read.
No one's paying that close attention to every lap coming in,
But give him my secret.
except for someone else sitting there with all the telemetry pulled up.
Correct. Pork Chops is sitting there with 30 screens on the wall, just doing
That race engineer
no one's doing
layout I showed you.
Yes,
One
yes,
for
yes.
each driver.
Race day. Staring down the barrel. That's Nicky 6-4. See ya. Race day up into 4th place. Once again, we're going to run this one back. The next opportunity he has lies 6 seconds ahead. It's going to be GSR Edwin. That will officially put race day in contention for a medal. Not the Olympics. For a podium position here in Portugal.
Looking at the Aston Martins and Josh Senior in the Ferrari, who actually just did a pit stop, so he finished 19 laps on the medium tires. Astons are the only ones out there that haven't had a pit stop yet, and definitely shows in the timer because Scott Palmer is just about to get within DRS zone. He closed that 10-second gap down over the past 7 laps since he stopped for some tires.
Yeah, that was disgusting. Scott Palmer took a 10-second interval and said, yeah, hang on 1 minute, I'm coming. Just close that. I like that bottle sound you got there. Looks like Gunnar Aldi left the session, presumably for a connection issue. We'll see if they can come back into the race. There goes Sui into the pits, the first Aston to swap those tires. Come back out, see where he lies, and we can only assume that Nicky will follow suit next lap, knocking the Aston Martin's chance of a podium berth down just a few percentage points. Re-enters right next to the Ferrari. Gonna push the Ferrari of Travis Scott's wide. Travis is able to keep it under control though, and we will resume the racing as normal. Scott Palmer then resumes his supremacy up atop the Portugal Grand Prix. McLaren back up in number 1, followed by a Mercedes and both of the Red Bulls. Race Day now into 3rd place. He's finally made it back from that disastrous snap spin there in the first half of the race. Josh Sr. has a close gap. Chuck Blazin down in the pack. Be able to make something happen down there in a few laps time. There goes Nicky into the pits. Sorry, I have you bouncing all over the place. A-Dubs was looking nice as well.
I know, he's looking
Right
real nice.
on
Just
the
shot
tail.
out.
Shoo.
Ooh, big lock up on the front left. Just able to keep.
He's gonna hold it though.
Easier
Wow.
behind him. Yeah. That's a tricky one. Those guys will dive to the inside, and then there's enough room to go to the outside while you're locking up that you can kind of block the person you overtook as they exit that corner.
It is a tricky maneuver. Dangerous one, for sure. GSRCs are going to try and maintain that gap, but GSR Edwin, his teammate, is now, was just in the DRS zone. Let's see if he has it there. It looks like he does. Try to close that gap even more on Gott Palmer. They both have lapped. Final Flame or being one of the kick salvers. Race Day unable to really make a dent in the interval to 2nd place. Swego's fastest on those new soft tires back in 8th.
Let's see what his last lap was. A 1:18.4. That was pretty fast looking at everyone else's last lap. It's almost a second faster than anyone else's last lap too, which is going to be the important one. He was like 24 seconds behind first place when he came out of the pits. So you have to make up like it was roughly 2 seconds a lap, which might not be attainable, but he has enough to, I don't know, get up into 3rd, 4th, 5th again.
Yeah, he's definitely going to put some pressure on the top of this pack fairly soon. He already is. GSR Edwin, 2/10 with 10 laps to go. Will he try and overtake? He will. On the inside goes GSR Edwin into turn 1. It is now a Mercedes leading the Portuguese Grand Prix. Down through sector 1 we go. It is a race for first place. Gott Palmer not going to let that one go by easily, but GSR Edwin getting by cleanly with the help of DRS down through the tight hairpin. They retain their standing. Wow, what a wonderful move. Just patience and persistence there from the Mercedes. Able to finally make that attack at the very last second and blowing by McLaren.
He is looking for his first win this year. I think he's finished 4th, was the highest ever so far this season.
Wow.
So he's looking to be the 4th winner in 4 races, 5th winner in 4 races. I'm bad at math now.
Yeah, sure would.
4th winner in 4 races.
The fact that we have not had a repeat winner yet this season is commendable. It says a lot about this pack. I mean, I was talking to Mitch earlier today and just saying, you know, this pack is so good. They are all like at a really even playing field. You can see that here. It really comes down to who's driving best that day. You're not seeing someone that, you know, a Max Verstappen, oh, yeah, start me 12th on the grid, I'm still going to be up on the podium. You know, every time you just know that that consistent player is, you know, step up, big lock up down the hill there from Edwin. doesn't matter too much as he's just at a second and a half, pulling away from Gott Palmer every single lap. You know, we just haven't seen that one driver who just has the secret sauce yet. You know, they're all pretty even, and it's been pretty good racing. I'm here for it. I'm here for a season. I hope we see 17 different winners this season.
That would be incredible. That might be just a bit unrealistic, but you never know.
Let me dream.
I will.
Hey, the Olympic torch is lit. Let me dream.
Yeah. And Edwin is in 12th right now in the Drivers' Championship. He did get 0 points in Monaco, so if he had points, he probably would have been. He would be right up in that top group, in the group with Race Day, Final Flame, Cali Rob. He'd be sitting right around them in points. I might have to convince them to do a stat with the average points in races where they actually finish with points to see, like, over the season. Because a lot of times it is, you know, a driver getting a 0. And that's what makes it exciting. I'm not saying it's a problem, but this early in the season, it's hard to tell who is, you know, really good and who's, like, how the order should stack. Because if you miss one race, you're not going to be close to the top until, like, the end of the season again.
That would be a fun stat to look at. For sure. Race day, just, you know, looking back times now, race day closing just about a second on those front two through the overtake. And Edwin still pulling away from Gott Palmer. He's 2-second interval now. Phenomenal driving here in the last half of the race.
They're on the same tire too, which is just interesting that he's able to pull that much of a gap off right now.
Yeah, seriously.
We had the top 3 runners locked in for about 10 laps, and then the pit stops happened and everyone just started to spread.
Derby teammates is crocheting little onions. I had to send a text because they were darn cute. It's an inside thing. At the end of every game that we play, we all take a bite out of a raw onion, and that's just like the thing that we do. My vote is that we do that before the game, so we all stink like onion when we're out there playing.
That's fair, especially sweating it all out.
Yeah. Right. It just doesn't make sense to bite an onion and then smell like an onion for yourself after the game is over. It already smelled bad enough. But anyway, red onion, very cute. Thanks, Mega. On board now with the replacement driver for Alpine, A-Dubs, trying to close in on the other Mercedes. May be able to do it with just a few laps to go under DRS. Definitely going to help. Can A-Dubs get it here into turn 1? It's going to be tight, but he's not going to have enough to just edge it out there right before turn 1. Try and hang on for another chance here on the backside of the track. Race day closing in, has already shaved a second off of the interval to Gott Palmer. There goes A-Dubs on the inside, down the hill, past GSR Caesar. Wonderful move there for Alpine to get up into 5th place now. I love overtakes in that corner. They're so much fun. I mean, they're dangerous. It's definitely a pucker moment, but it's phenomenal. When it works, it feels so good.
Yeah, you got a nice DRS zone. You're going downhill, and then you're turning left uphill. Usually overtake on the inside, and it's just crazy. the way that that corner flows, and if you lock up, you go off or you T-bone someone. If you're the one in front, you know that's where they're going to overtake you. You just have to pray that you make it through the corner.
Yeah. Look for that outside line. GSR Caesar takes it back, says, "No, son, this is my race here." Gets back up into down the start finish straight once again. So we may have a little dogfight here. Every lap, these two may be trading blows until the very last one. So see how that plays out. A little lockup from both of them. A-Dub's trying it again, but is unable to hold the line. Has to resort to the outside right behind GSR Caesar. It's still Edwin Palmer race day on our podium for now. Reimer 11 seconds behind the front three. So that front pack is pretty much locked out pending any crazy moves. We'll go 4 laps to go in today's race. Been a phenomenal drive from like all of the top 10 have had just a wonderful time here tonight. They've had some really high stakes overtakes. Most of them have had sound pit strategies. And the worst thing that has happened so far is a tiny piece of a side fin that was lopped off in the early stages of the race, triggering virtual safety car before anything really started. So it's been fairly clean, fairly quick, all things considered.
And some drivers have moved up and down a lot. Like Cake Thomas has moved up 9, but for the most part, those little swaps like got Palmer and GSR Edwin swapping on the front row, Caesar and Swee swapping in 5th and 7th, and then a little bit more movement down the pack, but you know, just up a couple spots, down a couple spots, nothing major.
So while we may have our 4th winner in 4 races of this season, we are starting to see some patterns. You know, that shows me that we are starting to see, you know, a fairly definitive front pack, mid, and rear pack for the season. Again, all of that can change with strategy and time as we go on. We have a ton of races left, I believe 13 left on the calendar following today's contest. But the fact that everyone's kind of staying in their lane is telling me they found their home for the most part. Let's see who can take the 2nd win of the season and when that's going to be. It doesn't look like it's going to be tonight.
I'm hoping for 5 and 5. Why not?
5 in 5. Oh, that'd be phenomenal.
Well, who has
3 on E, 5 and 5. Race day now 2.5 seconds back from Gott Palmer. Really going to put the pressure on here with 2 laps to go. Race day is going to give it all he's got. Keep your eyes on that. Sorry, Mitch.
No, I'm just thinking, is Reimer got Palmer race day that have won, but the Final Flame, Cali Rob, Sharia Coleslaw have all at the top of the Drivers' Championship, haven't won races yet. So there's a few drivers that are in contention for the championship that haven't taken a victory. Still have a couple more, I think, that could get their first win.
Points.
And then sometimes we get those sub-drivers that come in and just dominate.
Right. Much like A-Dubs tonight. A-Dubs has had a phenomenal drive for Alpine up in 5th place. I'm going to give that team all the points. Yeah, phenomenal. I mean, it is fun just to watch all of the maths happen. Smarter people than myself make it way more interesting than I ever could. Race day now under 2 seconds. Got Palmer. GSR Edwin holding steady. His front 3 have pulled away, and they continue to do so. Reimer dropping 2 seconds since the last check-in. now 13 and a half seconds back from the podium drivers. Race day with 1 lap to go. Will he be able to close 1.5 second gap to seat himself in second rather than third here in Portugal? We're going to find out in this lap. We go on board with race day. All eyes on the Red Bull. Bit of a snap there through turn 1 into turn 2. Keep it clean, race day. Keep that head clean. Ignore the driver behind you and run your race. Race day uses all of the track he can. Alpine mix. Oh, sorry. You're following the intervals there.
No, all of a sudden got 3 drivers within a half second of each other.
Yeah.
5th, 6th, and 7th have decided to really turn on the show. Daring get 3 wide. Aston Martin might be the winner out of that corner as the other 2 get locked in a battle and seem to forget that Sui is coming through, who does move up into 6th.
Oh, that was phenomenal. Yeah, Sui just biding his time on the inside, watching A-Dubs take the line. GSRCs are really nowhere to go between the two. Had to maintain course. Yeah, that was interesting. Good eye on the board. My blinders were on for race day, but GSR Edwin will take the win, followed by Gott Palmer and race day. It is a Mercedes McLaren Red Bull 1, 2, 3 here in Portugal, making it 4 races with 4 individual drivers atop the grid. 4 different winners. It's phenomenal.
And Sui at the buzzer.
Sui gets it.
Just got there.
Sui right across the line. Changes position right across the line. Pushing A-Dub 6th. What a phenomenal finale from the Aston Martin of Sui. We were talking about that late soft tire strategy. They ran those mediums for 19 laps, him and Nicky both. And they both were able to capitalize on a late switch to softs. I believe Sui also retained fastest lap of the day because of that late soft tire swap. Phenomenal strategy from the Green Machines.
Because he did get fastest lap of the day. Gott Palmer gets the pole position point, but GSR Edwin takes home those 60 points for finishing in first.
We did hear from Race Day, who gives the flowers to GSR Edwin. Good recovery, Edwin, with a saluting emoji, and then says, "Love these curb physics."
Yeah, it was such a weird thing to watch, where just a normal corner and all of a sudden the car goes one way, he tries to catch it, spins the other way off the track, no cars around him.
Have you ever seen the videos of the Porsches doing the kick plate test? Where they wet a part of the track, and they put a big plate on the track, and whenever the rear wheels of the car drive over the plate shifts left or right, kicking the back end out, simulating a spin out, and it's like a recovery drill. That's kind of what happened to Race Day. He hit the curb and it just went, pulled his butt out onto the track, completely losing the back end, getting parallel on the track and relinquishing that first place positioning.
Oh, that's why
funny though.
These guys are the pros. They practice catching the car so that they can continue on the race and not lose too much time. Gave him that opportunity to still finish on the podium.
Phenomenal race from all of these drivers. Here we go. I'm too busy looking up kick plates from Porsche to turn my camera on. If you haven't yet, go onto YouTube and search kick plates on Porsche. It is a fun thing. I really want to try it someday. That would be a fun video for the two of us to do, like a Porsche driving experience, something like that. Not easy to recover a car when it's not 4 on the floor at all times. But yeah, phenomenal drive from everyone there tonight. I mean, we had some folks disconnection issues, hardware issues with their wheels with Cake Thomas. someone got struck by lightning. Someone's cat did, like it was all over. Anything that could have gone wrong tonight did, and everyone prevailed. I don't believe we dropped a single driver across the line. 2 thumbs up from
that
Baltimore.
Might be the quickest race we had. It's 10:48.
Beautiful. Well, let's capitalize on that and let's get to the end here. Thank you very much for tagging along with us for race number 4 of season 13 here. Midwest Division 1 Formula 1 action on Nick and Mitch. Next week will take us, August 8th, will take us to Australia. So we'll see you down under in Melbourne for another wonderful, wonderful running of that super quick track. Can't wait to see these cars on that one. Can't wait to see the new camera angles in F124 in Australia. It's going to be dirty. Can't wait for that. Also, want to thank the folks that make all of this possible. Give me one moment. Where are we? There's the roster. Thank you very much to the stewards of Midwest Formula 1 Racing. Division 1 stewards, Knuckles, Forward 23, and Ferenci. Thank you very much for all you do after the races. And thank you to our YouTube members as well. The Nick and Mitch subscribers who chip a little bit of money in every single month to make sure that we have all of these wonderful graphics, transitions, audio packs, so we don't get copywritten on the stream, even though we still get copywritten on the stream because we play the F1 theme song for you. We do this for you. But no, thank you very much to everyone who helps keep the channel afloat. Happy birthday to executive producer Bone Crusher 2D. Happy birthday, Alex. And thank you as well to Dockworthy Dame and Coach 34, our co-producers.
Captain Snowbird, Killavapor, Kirsten. Sorry.
No.
I thought you were pausing. You didn't know.
No. Hey, I was taken. I was there. I was on a roll.
Man. And our fans and fans plus. Yeah, the names are there. Wow, yeah, that's it. You can join and become a member too. Hit join down below. You'll get cool perks. All this stuff, it's listed there. If not, subscribe as well. This will pop up during the stream, even while we're doing the race, just like a real radio message.
Sure does.
And yeah, thank you to Racer Ray for developing all of those graphics that we now use, and for the control panel that I get to use to turn all of them off. Even though I can't ever find the weather forecast one, even though it's right there, it's always lit up.
We're gonna make sure that it's highlighted next time.
I think that's it. All of them are highlighted when they're turned on and not when they're off, but the weather one is always highlighted if it's on or off. So I'm never looking for it because it's lit up.
Okay, so when I was in school for audio engineering, we ran a Behringer 64, like the industry standard for live music, soundboards. And my faders for the live mix for the speakers coming out to the fans was like that. When you turned on a mic, it lit up, and whenever you turned the mic off, it turned off. Whenever you went to the headphone mix for what they were hearing on stage, it was the opposite. It was awful. They'd be like, why can't I hear anything? I'm like, it's on, the light's on. But no, the light needed to be off for them to get the passive. Ugh, why do people do that? On that note, enjoy the rest of your evening from wherever you are watching. Thank you very much for joining us right here on Nick and Mitch for, again, season 13 of Midwest eSports Formula 1 Division 1 action. Race number 4 from Portugal in the books. Next week, we take it down to Melbourne. It is the Australian Grand Prix, and same place, same time, right here. We'll see you soon. Go USA, beat Canada in the Women's Nationals. I'm Nick.
I'm Mitch.
USA! USA!